Hello everyone, a very good afternoon. So, few years ago, we were just students and no cloud experience, no fancy internships. In fact, we even barely nothing new about Kubernetes. Instead, that has something to do with containers.
But we were hungry to learn, to connect, and to somehow bridge that big scary gap between the university and the tech industry. And we showed up to a local meetup organized by some people we didn't know and talking about the tech we didn't fully understand either. And that one decision changed everything.
So, week by week, session by session, and we didn't just learn about Kubernetes and CNCF. We found something deeper, a place to belong, people who believed in us, an opportunity we never imagined. So, from attending to volunteers, uh, and from intern to community organizers, from sitting in the back row to standing on this KubeCon stage right now, it all began with that one meetup.
Well said. As Chamod said, so we didn't just learn Kubernetes. So we found the purpose, we found the mentors, and our path into the cloud native world. So we are here today to share the story of what happened next and running a CNCF community. And trust us, we have plenty of things to share. But before we go further, let us introduce ourselves. Uh, I'm Kemila De Silva, and I'm senior Day of Engineer at Aeturnum. And also, I'm CNCF ambassador and a lead of KCD Sri Lanka and Kubernetes Sri Lanka along with Chamod.
So I am Chamod Perera. I am software engineer level 2 at Circles. I am CNCF and CDF ambassador, and I work mostly with Go, and I still break things in production. And now I lead Kubernetes Sri Lanka and KCD Sri Lanka along with Kemila.
All right, let's dive into this, right? So when I started my cloud native journey, the very first thing is to join to a startup, join to a company for my university industrial training module. So I was lucky enough to get an internship at a startup that was fully focused on cloud native technologies back in 2018. And at that time, I had no idea of what cloud native even meant. On my first day, one of the company leads just told me, you should need to meet the team and we are organizing a meetup. You should come and join. So I said, sure, I'll come. And even though I had no idea of what meetup was and why people attend to them, so then that meetup turned out to be the very first Kubernetes Sri Lanka meetup, and I attended as a participant. So when I got there, I saw some people wearing t-shirts with the words of Cloud Native Developer Platform. So on their printed on the back, and I was wondering if that was the product of the company I had to join, what Cloud Native even meant. A lot of things were discussed during the meetup, and but honestly, I left almost with no idea what they were talking about. So later on, I googled some of the words that stuck in my head, like containers, Docker, Kubernetes, and so on. Over to you, Chamod.
So now you know Kemila showed up to his first Kubernetes Sri Lanka meetup, and even without knowing what's cloud native even mean. And well, my story is similar. I actually spotted some community post on Facebook. It's a Docker and Kubernetes workshop. So I really wanted to learn something new because I was interested in learning new things. So I signed up, but luckily I got a chance to attend. So that session actually changed a lot of things of my life. So it was my first time I truly understand why Kubernetes matter and why we couldn't just do traditional deployments. And something unexpected happened after the end of the workshop. I stayed till the workshop get end, and I reach out to organizers. And actually, I was very nervous, and I said, "Hey, can I write an article about this workshop?" So they said yes. Actually, this article it's still on my Medium profile. So if you don't have to read it, but if you do and hit the follow button, you will definitely make my day. So Few weeks later, uh, the connection I made from that the community meetup, I joined the same company Kemila was interning at. So next thing, you know, we both became volunteers for Kubernetes Sri Lanka, creating pros, editing videos, and managing speaker decks. So basically, doing whatever the things to keep the meetup going.
All right, so do any of you remember 2019, the year we were basically strapped into our chairs 24/7 because of the COVID pandemic? So in-person meetups suddenly stopped. Even though that happened, the Kubernetes Sri Lanka as a community kept growing day by day. So we could feel it. And then, so we moved everything online. And Google Meet was free back then with no limits. It was super simple and accessible. So we just shared a link publicly and invited everyone.
So, and it worked. People showed up and more than we ever expected. So we didn't just overthink it. No rules, no guardrails, just put the link, let's roll. So then one day we had Kelsey Hightower on our webinar. Yeah, this Kelsey. So we lost it. So we thought we made a like huge step, and then, boom, the session turned into a complete chaos. Our big moment actually it was a complete chaos. Wanna take a wild guess what actually happened? Yeah, you see, too much freedom, that's not always a good thing. So we wanted to make the webinars open to everyone. We meant well, but then came the chaos. People were yelling and trolls spamming, and just I thought, please don't let anyone share a screen. But unfortunately, some random dude shares his gaming screen. So during Kelsey's webinar, so I'm just sitting there and thinking, this is it, and this is how we're gonna get cancelled.
So as volunteers, so we had to play live bouncers, hunting down noisy participants in mid-session while the meetup and the webinar was still happening, and it was chaotic. And so we switched to live streaming on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, LinkedIn all at once, and it gives us more control and allows us to scale with less stress. So by the way, big thanks to Chamod GitHub Education account for helping us make that possible. But keep in mind, we were still going through the pandemic, and things in Sri Lanka are getting worse day by day. But as a community, we always believe that once something is started, we should treat it as part of an infinite game, not just something we do for a short while and stop. And that's what we believe.
So no matter whatever the issues that we get, so we kept the team tight, and we follow on our team on daily chats, quick calls, and we had even a roadmap to keep the things moving. So because we didn't just start this community to like check a box and quit. So this is not a sprint, right? So it's a marathon, and it's an infinite game. So we had that mindset, and it's everything. So we lucked out running those live stream, no issues, no downtime, and through that, we didn't just reach to a local folks. So we built a global community. So fans from all around the world tuning in and cheering on us. And I bet some of supporters are in this room right now. And thanks for pushing us for try new things and for helping us to grow and believing in us.
All right.
So by then, the community was really picking up the stream, and we thought, why not go bigger? So with Kanchana's support, who is basically our main organizer, we pitched KCD to CNCF, and they said yes, they agree to let us host the KCD in Sri Lanka for the first time. And suddenly, we felt like we are playing with big leagues.
But before we go further, let me share a small story about how KCD Sri Lanka was originally planned. Back in 2019, Kanchana had the privilege of meeting none other than Dan Kohn during the Kubernetes days in Sydney. And as Kanchana told us, Dan said he had visited to Sri Lanka and fell in love with the people and the country. And he even said that he would love for us to host the Kubernetes Community Day in Sri Lanka as well. But sadly, due to COVID and other challenges, we couldn't make it happen before his passing. But to honor his memory, we plan to host KCD Sri Lanka 2022. So thank you, Dan, for your support and the community spirit to help to start.
So honestly, it was a massive challenge for us because that was the first KCD ever. So we even had to explain what KCD even mean, why CNCF is running all these events all around the world, and why they matter to locally and globally. So it wasn't just about throwing an event, it was about making a dent, showing we could do this right.
So things weren't easy, right? So because we had to fully commit to make it happen in every possible way. Because we had to figure out sponsors, speakers, production, and even volunteers, all while the world was still dealing with the pandemic. And we didn't have a strong brand or a history to convince sponsors, but we tried anyway. And believe us, the chasing sponsorship has been one of the toughest tasks we have ever facing when organizing KCDs. And however, we followed one principle, which is we keep following up until we get a clear rejection, and whether it could be month by month or week by week. And that consistency has given us the confidence to engage with big companies, and of course, it helps us to cover our budget as well.
So at first, we had bigger dreams. So the biggest tech event in Sri Lanka then was Google I/O Extended, about 3,000 people running all from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. That's an overnight event. So we thought if the GDG community can pull that off with the Google support, why can't we do something similar with CNCF? So we planned for 1,500 people initially, booked a top-tier hotel in Colombo, even made an advance payment for the hotel with our production managers. Everything was looking good. Then life happened.
But things didn't go as planned, actually. So as Sri Lankans, we were hit hard. First with the Easter Sunday attack, then the COVID pandemic, so later on the economic crisis. So even though we had already made the advance payment, we had to postpone the in-person event to the next year. And we decided to go virtual and make it impactful as possible. And we had two options. One was host it over Zoom, and the other one was do a green screen production similar like how big companies like AWS were running their virtual re-events and re-events back then. And so we thought, why not to do both? So we planned our very first KCD Sri Lanka as a 2-day event. On day one, we host a high-quality green screen production as a main event. And on day two, we would run a series of live streaming sessions. And our goal was to give that professional global feeling just like AWS did.
So, but here's the big question. So where are we going to find the money, actually sponsorship for all this? So that's when Sri Lanka economy crisis gave us an unexpected advantage. Prices were rising, US to LKR was skyrocketing. So we made a bold call. So we priced our sponsorship packages in USD. So local companies might not have been able to invest on us, but we aim for reaching out global. So we locked the budget for the green screen production and all the costs. So signed the document with the team and built our sponsorship packages around those numbers. So then real work began, reaching out to the global companies.
And that pitch worked actually because we secured all of our sponsorships, and thanks to our global companies like AWS, Microsoft, from financial perspective, we were super stable. While sorting out the budget, we also started lining up the speakers from both local and global level. And in the end, we proud to pull off together an amazing line of speakers from Sri Lanka and all around the world. And we began recording the sessions and everything started into the place. So what do you think of this stage? So I already shared the backstory behind it, right? So we were inspired by the AWS reInvent 2020 stage, and we had several meetings with the production team. And during one of those, they showed us. During one of those, so they showed us an initial concept, and we were super excited. And for us, it was an incredible stage design. So we made few tweaks to improve that, to make that experience as impressive as possible. And the best part, most people even didn't realize it was a green screen production until we told them.
And it was virtual, but this wasn't just another Zoom call. So we actually pull out high quality production value out of a tiny budget. Even CNCF staffs amazed by the stage. And honestly, the whole experience felt smooth and professional for everyone who joined. So things were looking good. Then we had even a tiny little budget left over. So we thought, why not to send some custom gift pack to thank our amazing speakers from all around the world. So each pack had a cool KCD speaker token and some authentic Sri Lankan tea, a KCD t-shirt, and swags from Digital Ocean. So sounds perfect, right? But the shipping company had other plans. So t-shirt got swapped, names mixed up, and every speaker ended up receiving a wrong gift pack. First time, actually, we are handling international shipping. And yes, we learned the hard way. After that, we had to take a lot of meeting with the delivery company, and they actually helped to solve out the mess they caused.
Well, I still remember the meeting with their marketing and the management team. So after the issue, so Chamod and I had never been a proper boardroom meeting before. So I just walked into their office and asked I'm here for the KCD Sri Lanka shipment failure meeting, and they pointed out the meeting room. And a few minutes later, the marketing manager walked in and said, "Hi, Kemila, nice to meet you. How's the business going these days?" So right then I realized, they thought we were young entrepreneurs running a startup or something, so I had to explain, we are not running a business here, this is a global community initiative and all. But eventually, everything sorted out, and we repacked all of our gift boxes and shipped them again to all of our speakers as well. Well, it turned out to be quite expensive effort though, but it worked really well.
So,
This one.
so,
Right after everything we learned from organizing the previous event, we jumped straight into planning the KCD Sri Lanka 2023, which was going to be our very first in-person meetup as well, in-person event, actually. So we decided, first we decided the expected audience size and started looking for the best venue to deliver memorable experience. And once that was settled, we designed the stage, yes, the one you see here. And based on the stage design, we collected the quotations and select the best one that matched with our budget as well. And we worked closely with the production team and invited speakers and manage everything from accommodation to food at the event as well. But based on the stage design, I think that's it. And also, we also introduced a new idea that called the KCD Arena concept with an after party to give people more time to network and connect. And we're proud to say it was a sold out event, and even after it sold out, we kept getting more and more requests from the people who would like to book a seat at the event. and that gave us a feeling the event was going really well.
So big shout out to Ram Younger for trusting us and making the trip all the way from India to speak at our event. So seriously, that was a lot. So thanks for being part of the journey with us. So of course, things didn't go perfectly. When do they ever? So the production crew setting up their stuff the day before the event, and some mismanagement caused us to start the event late. So we planned to kick off the event at 10 a.m., but things didn't actually go as we planned. So that threw off the whole speaker schedule to make things pretty stressful. So one moment I will never forget, we had to negotiate with the venue staff about the air conditioning schedule. Because since they only run it during the certain hours, so imagine juggling with while talks are happening live. Honestly, it was the wildest experience I have ever faced.
But no matter what we believe is, if you want to be in this race, you have to be ready for both toughest challenges and the joyful moments as well, right? So as long as you keep running, you will keep learning day by day. So in short, we started from the bottom and we still working hard, chasing more wins and making few mistakes and growing day by day. And it hasn't been easy. For us, this journey is all about learning new things and meeting amazing people and building connections and even discovering new career paths along the way. By the way, here's a quick note about the KCD Sri Lanka 2025 as well, happening right in heart of the Colombo. And this year too, we are planning to create one of the best KCD experiences ever.
So save the date, October 26th. So keep an eye on our social media for all the updates and don't miss out when the registration is open. So one big lesson I have learned from this journey, you don't need anyone's permission to get started. So you don't have to be a senior engineer, a Kubernetes expert, or have a perfect LinkedIn profile. So what really matters is that show up. And if you are unsure or you feeling out of the place, so that's exactly what we did. And once you show up, take responsibility, take ownerships, fix that broken link, and host that session and mentor someone new. Most importantly, pass it on. Everything we have built was because someone was believed in us and helped us grow. Now it's your turn to create that space for the next person. Kemila?
Well, thank you very much, Chamod. So as we shared our challenges, mistakes, growth, so what we truly believe is once you start something, you should keep going. You will face many challenges, obstacles, but like we said earlier, this is an infinite game. So what matters is staying in this race and continue your journey. Especially as a country, because we are representing our country on each and every event we are hosting, and we are 100% responsible for each and everything we are planning to give that experience as well. Well, like migratory birds fly thousands of kilometers, right? So without sometimes without stopping, just to reach out in better condition. Similarly, in this infinite game we are in, we truly believe there's no any destination. The journey is the destination. Thank you very much for your time. We hope you learned something. Thank you very much.